get to talk like this very often,
No, we don't.
We're
But,
just,
but we have these conversations a lot without having structure around the conversation.
yeah, like a camera in front of you.
I know. I'm Lynnette Williams. I'm the Vice President of Programming and Services at Women's Employment Network.
And I've had the pleasure of working with you since 2009 now. I'm Sherry Turner. I'm founder of the OneKC for Women Alliance and the president of Women's Employment Network. And thank goodness you're here and you are the resident historian and the special sauce for WEN. So,
well, one of the things that I think is great is over the years, WEN has focused on the needs of the women in the community and then found the resources to come together and continue the growth and development of women that has an impact on the community and an impact on their family and hopefully generations to come because of our ability to recognize changes and prepare women for those changes and get them to focus on life beyond whatever struggle they may be having now and make a plan to move forward.
that's kind of why our work is never done.
Exactly.
So we're hopefully impacting lives and families. And that's really why we started the Alliance, the OneKC for Women Alliance with the Women's Business Center and Women's Capital Connection. It was just women need to expand and have as many options as they can envision for their future goals. And so since there's more women starting businesses and working as consultants and 1099 employees, they need to know also how to be self-employed and run a business.
Yes, and I love that we have that path for women. If they need employment, they can go to our website and find out about WEN. If they aren't sure what they want, they can still, at our website, they can find out about opening a business and how the Women's Business Center can support them and how entrepreneurship has increased over the years. And there's a lot of women who don't feel like they have a business because they're running it out of, working out of their kitchen or in someone's basement, or it's just a little project that they do, craft projects that they do over the holiday. But to have the resources for someone to, first of all, give them a quiz to see if they do have the entrepreneurial spirit and the capacity to follow through, and then have someone that can guide them along the way to that process.
You know what I love about WEN after 37 years is it's still somewhat the same and yet has evolved based on the needs of our clients and women in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, why the Alliance was really formed, is we're reacting to societal shifts. And not everything's fixed, but there are certainly more options. But I think what I've noticed just post-pandemic is that there are more women that are making choices either to do multiple jobs,
Mm-hmm.
multiple sources of income rather, that our alignment across the Alliance is certainly financial self-sufficiency and whatever is success deemed for any client of ours. But it does seem like it's a little bit different right now post-pandemic in terms of what choices are being made. Career shifts
Mm-hmm.
are more prevalent. There was a little bit of a shake-up on, I don't really like what I'm doing, and I figured out that I didn't like what I was doing during the pandemic, and so I'm making some alternate routes for myself and my family, and that may be employment, it might be multiple employment
Mm-hmm.
pieces, and it might be starting a business.
Yes. Over the years, the thing that I think is great is the fact that, because I am the resident historian, I've seen the generations that have referred their daughter, their granddaughter to come through the program, because that memory of, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know where to go, and I found it at WEN, that they were able to recall all of their good experience, even though it may be 20 years between the time that they went and they've sent someone, that the connection is still there, and that we're able to help women create that sense of community and support, and recognize that there are choices. We've talked about the different types of jobs, and that it's okay to work part-time and be involved more with your family, but kind of keep that connection of being out in the community, either volunteering, working part-time, doing some of the your own little business, but staying connected with women who can lead, guide, and support you and elevate you to a different level as well.
Yeah, don't you think we've even seen more of our client base wanting professional development and an understanding of themselves in the roles that they play to advance them in leadership?
Yes.
Especially as they're considering shifting careers or negotiating up based on what's happened with the organizational structures that they've been in. And I find that really refreshing. It feels like everybody's wanting to better themselves in a variety of ways, not just a particular job, but it's rounding out who they are as a leader and a professional.
Yes, that's really something that I noticed during the pandemic. The number of people that have been in their jobs, kind of that recognition of, I have done this job for 20 years. It's not my passion. What's the possibility for me? Or I've been here for 20 years, but I've not really advanced, or well, not maybe 20 years, but maybe 10 years, and I haven't advanced. What do I need to do? And for us to be able to review a resume, sit down and chat about just general accomplishments that they've had on the job, and help them recognize, because a lot of times women don't recognize the work that they do and the effort that they make. They just take it on as, it's like, well, it was part of my job and I did it. And for us to help them with that awareness of, that's a leadership quality. That's a opportunity for you to advance yourself, is to think about, if that's your passion, it may not be with that company. You may have to go somewhere else to find it, but keep developing that and take advantage of it. So to support that desire for change.
Well, I definitely see that, our future is dual delivery. You know, a lot of people really need access virtually, remotely, to look at to engage with us or be a part of a workshop. At the same time, that personal touch is really important, and so we'll always need to ensure that we're available for really anybody, no matter where they come into us in terms of their challenges or barriers. But that's what's been good for us as an organization, I think, is we had to adapt to what was really going on with our clients, and I think we're up for the challenge. We have more work to do there. I can definitely see that there's an uptick in requests to do our entrepreneurial exploration class, and people are going to consider that they might have a lot different options moving forward with their families. There's an awful lot of discussion going on about childcare and what that will look like. It's so broken. The modeling that they're trying to figure out how to navigate that long term. I think that's really hard for women, particularly.
Yes. Well, and especially, when you look at the kind of the broken system in the education. It's like, so how do I balance my job, my need for childcare, and then being a part of what's going on in the education system? And a lot of resources that were available have been cut through various funding, and women are struggling to try to find that next place, and to help a woman see that she might be the answer by having her own business or collaborating with someone and starting a business that provide those services. That's where there's a gap, is a really good opportunity. And it's also been very unique having our virtual presence and seeing the number of women from other communities outside of the metropolitan area that are reaching out for us for those same services about, I want someone to review my resume. I want to change my career. I don't know how to make that happen. And just to give that extra support. And the other piece that is great that we offer is just knowing that the self-care is becoming more and more aware that because of mental health, and even just being able to take time for yourself, whether it is to take a dance class or go for a walk or do some exercise, but to get that downtime so that a woman can stretch her brain and think about, well, what are my other options outside of this? And being able to support them in creating a self-care plan and helping them follow through with that.
What do you think is so distinct about our staff at WEN that makes us unique?
I think there are several things. I believe that we are all very mission focused and that we meet the woman where she is. There's no expectations before she walks through the door, and for her to be able to sit down and talk with someone who can listen, understand, not judge as to what has happened or what might be her anticipation of what will happen, but to really give a woman the opportunity to have her voice be heard, and then someone say, well, we can help you with that, or we can't help you with that, but we can refer you somewhere that will help you. And the fact that some of our staff have been in those similar situations and have that understanding of, I understand your struggle, but you can't come to the other side.
So we just celebrated Tanya Bomar's 20th anniversary.
Yes.
And you've been at WEN now, what, 33 years?
32.
2 years,
32
almost
years.
33 years. Who's counting?
I know.
I mean, we're so fortunate. That's a little unheard of. Why do you think you and Tanya commit to this as long as you have?
I think because we found value when we came through the program, and to want to be able to share that same value with other people. And I'm so proud of Tanya just because I was her instructor and helped her come, find her footing, and then watch her progress, and then to come to WEN and have her be here for 20 years is amazing. And the environment at WEN is very receptive to and supportive of the staff, as well as the women that come through the program. Everyone feels very connected to each other.
I think what I hope we continue is that there's not a bad idea that if we think there's a need for our clients, that we don't pause on it, we just create it. If there's a topic that we should be addressing, we don't hold back, we just go for it and we figure it out, and we bring in the wonderful subject matter experts that are better at it than we are in that topic. And the community is so responsive and reactive to our needs in that regard. We should always be able to deliver on almost any topic.
Yes.
I do love that about the position we're in.
That's good, and that is something that I cherish, to know that the strange idea that might be in my head can actually, well, let's test it and see what it looks like. And then there's always the opportunity to, tweak it some more. Okay, now we have it. And even ideas that come from the women, here's something that I think would be great to add to the program.
I find it refreshing when you come to the office on Monday after running into a client from class number 250 that was 10 years ago that was yelling in the grocery store, Miss Lynnette, Miss Lynnette. I love those stories, and I know that happens to you almost weekly.
It does, just working with the women, and you don't think that they're really, going to remember everything, but I often say, I have a memory like an elephant. I might not remember your name, but I remember your face.
And your class number.
And your class number, where you sit in class. But to be able to know that they still feel connected after so long, and it's always a pleasure to be able to. So what's going on? Where have you been? Please come and see us again. And then what really touches me is when they say, and you know so and so in the class that sat next to me, and it's like, yes, I do. But it's just a way for us to get more information about the women and their successes and where they are. And even women will share, I'm working at this particular company, and we're always hiring, and I tell them about Women's Employment Network all the time. So to know that they're out there being ambassadors for us is great.
There does seem to be, post-pandemic, many of our client base are pausing on reaching out for a resource or stuck in knowing how to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think our future looks like in that regard? Do you think it's just a matter of where society is right now post-pandemic? Do you feel like there's more tragedy that happened that we can't even define in the pandemic? How do we encourage somebody to take that next step to reach out to us?
I think by us sharing our own stories and awareness, because I'm finding in our new program, the 3 Pillars to Success, that women have not really had a chance to stop and pause and recognize that even if it wasn't a direct impact within their family, there was a lot of things that we lost during the pandemic, and to have the opportunity to say it out loud, to grieve the loss, and then make a plan to move forward is a way I hope that will bring women in and for them to want to move forward and understand that it will not go back to what it was before the pandemic, but there's life beyond the pandemic, and helping them to address those things and then see, once again, get the value of, and even though perhaps they didn't work, or they worked from home and that was a new transition, there was still lots of skills, lots of resilience, lots of opportunity to connect in this new way, with that self-care as a priority and recognition of the skill set and redirecting it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a new world for all women, is to always think of self-care first? That's not been a trait, I think, for our gender. But if that were to shift based on what's happened the last couple of years, that would be a really great shift.
Yeah, it would be. And even to act on those ideas of, well, I think this might be a business, but I'm not sure. So yes, it's a business.
Could be.
Could be. Let's go through the steps to find out.
Yeah.